Kristan T. Harris here from the Free and Equal News Network, Free and Equal Elections Foundation. We're here at Freedom Fest 2024, bringing you another informational interview. Joining us right now is Kendall Terry, presidential candidate for the Constitution Party. Welcome to the broadcast.
I'm just going to say for the record, you called me Kendall, which is hysterical. It's Randall.
Is it really? I apologize. Are you serious? It's Randall Terry. Oh my goodness.
But no, I'm going to call him Kristen. If he can call me Kendall, I'm calling him Kristen. You go by Kristan, I'll go by Randall. You call me Kendall, I'm calling you Johnny.
That's right, Randall Terry. I apologize, sir. Here you go, Randall Terry for the Constitution Party. So you got to tell me, what is the Constitution Party, and what are the values of your party?
Well, we were started by Howard Phillips and friends close to him in the early 90s. Howard was in the Nixon administration. He started the U.S. Taxpayers Party, which became the Constitution Party. I was actually there in the beginning with Howard, helping him, trotting around the country with him, introducing him to different people. He was a great man. The Constitution Party prides itself, I could say that it's almost silly to say, in the fear of God. We self-consciously set out to have policies that are anchored in the Judeo-Christian tradition. To use my words, but the party's philosophy, you cannot improve on Moses and Jesus. Moses and Christ are the fountainhead of all that is true and just and right. And so to have a culture and law, politics, based upon a Judeo-Christian heritage, that's going to provide the most liberty, the most justice, and the most protection of life, liberty, and property.
Well, okay, that's very interesting. What do you say to people who don't want to follow, let's say, a Christian perspective, but they want to believe in other religions? Does this allow for people of Buddhist or Hindu beliefs or of other beliefs?
Where is a woman safer? The streets of any town, USA, or Riyadh, or Beijing? Ideas have consequences. Now, I know that the joke is, well, what city isn't in America because our streets are getting so violent? But the point is that if you look over the scope of history, nations that are instructed by Judeo-Christian ethics and law, and then you look at Islamic law and communist law and divine right of kings law, or any number of philosophies, the French Revolution, these philosophies have corresponding impacts on human freedom, human dignity, property, life, liberty. So this country was clearly founded on Judeo-Christian principles, without question. Even people who hate God will acknowledge, you go back all the way to the Mayflower Compact and go forward, and you see people focused on Jesus, focused on the Bible. Well, arguably, this is the most free nation in the history of the human race, with the exception of ancient Israel, from whence we get a lot of our law. So, a tree is known by its fruit. You want to see what the French Revolution looks like and the ideals of the French Revolution? Go to the bloodbaths. You want to see what communism looks like? Go to the bloodbaths. You want to see what Nietzsche looks like? Go to Adolf Hitler. You want to see what the world looks like when it's free? Go to Moses and Jesus and the United States of America a while ago. I mean, we were hypocrites with slavery. There's no question about that. But what we call civilization and the rights of the individual and a trial by jury and freedom of speech, all of these are anchored in Judeo-Christian values. And this is interesting. As you see us drift away from God, Ten Commandments, Christian ethics, what do you see? More abusive women, more abusive children, less freedom of speech. You have these major corporations trying to shut down free speech. You have the government working with platforms to shut down free speech. So the further, Democrats in particular, the further we drift away from Judeo-Christian ethics of freedom and justice, the more everyone is oppressed across the board. Ka-ching. Thought I would put that in the end, that ka-ching.
So are you suggesting a theocracy, or are you just suggesting basically a constitution that we should return to the Constitution and follow the laws that are already in place?
Well, the Constitution Party's point is the Constitution's got it going on. If you want to know what America should be and should look like, read the Declaration of Independence and read the Constitution. Read the Bill of Rights and then live out the Bill of Rights. Look at limited powers and then live out limited powers. Look at local government, the 10th Amendment specifically, and then live it out. So if you're a Christian, you're like, great. If you're not a Christian, and we're not telling you have to be one, the government doesn't have the authority to make someone a believer of anything or a disbeliever of anything, and it doesn't have the authority to say you got to be baptized or whatever. No. But the government does have the duty to reflect the second tablet of the law. And I'm talking about the 10 Commandments. The first tablet of the law is men with God. The second tablet of the law is men with men. Mankind with mankind. So if you are a Christian or not a Christian, if you're a Buddhist, whatever you are, you're safer. You have more human dignity. Your daughters are safer in the public school bathroom in a world that is anchored in Moses and Christ and not in demon-possessed, God-hating perverts who want to tell a boy that they can cut off their genitals and become a girl, or a girl can cut off her breasts and become a boy, or the boys should play in girls' sports and change their clothes in girls' locker rooms.
So what would you say are the top three issues right now with the Constitution Party? What are the three major focal points?
Abortion, for sure. Killing children. Marriages between a man and a woman. And then after that, southern border, property rights, getting rid of Agenda 21. There's a lot going on in the Constitution Party. We are not a single issue party. Not getting involved in endless wars, not being the world's policeman, looking at NATO. Should we be carrying all the water for NATO? These are things that are critical to the Constitution.
Absolutely. And tomorrow you're taking stage in a very prominent debate here at the Freedom Fest 2024, Randall, and it's very interesting to see. It's going to be you, Chase Oliver, and Jill Stein facing off. What are some predictions you have about this debate?
What is that one movie? Meatballs? Flying Meatballs? I think that it's going to be fun. My personal goal is to honor the Lord, do a good job, be polite, try and be funny once in a while, and to use the platform to proclaim the truth with a capital T. I think that, frankly, it's going to be a really good debate, and I think on many levels it'll be way more interesting than the Trump-Biden debate or a lot of political debates, which, as we all know, would not be hard to do right now. Joey, what's your favorite ice cream? I don't know. It's a stump me question.
So did you watch the debate between Trump and Biden, and what were some takeaways you have from that debate?
I watched every minute of it. My biggest takeaway is that was a setup. That was done so that Joe could fail, so that he could be replaced. That was literally an insider's coup. And the proof is twofold. Number one, in my lifetime, there has never been a debate prior to the conventions. Ever. Because they're not the nominee.
Well, that's really interesting you mentioned that. And I think that kind of points to some questions, and maybe they're trying to get some early answers to see if Joe Biden was prepared or was able to stand ground against an opponent like Donald Trump. But it looks like he's not backing down. It looks like the Democrats may have to stick with him as a candidate. But it also gives a lot of reason to search out other candidates for president, right? The Randall Terrys of the world, the Chase Olivers, the Jill Steins, the Robert F. Kennedys. And I guess between the two candidates, if you were in that debate, what are some of the major rebuttals that you would have had on some of the major topics that they had?
Well, oh my God, I watched every minute of that debate. One thing I want to make clear for your viewers, I'm in media as well. And I was watching, I knew what the answers were going to be from both candidates. There was nothing new there for you and I on a content-wise basis. But what I was focused on was this. Joe's mouth dropping open, looking around like he was lost, confused, dazed, and then starting to answer a question and starting to not know where he was in the middle of the answer. I just kept turning to my wife and said, he's done. He will not be the nominee. They put him up to this. This was deliberate. They knew that the only way they could get him out of this race. So let me finish my thought, and then I'll come back to your question. You could see an insider come out right now and say, I love Joe Biden. He's my hero. But we need to look at the 25th Amendment. Say it with really somber tones. You saw Clooney came out against Biden?
No, I have not.
Yeah, Clooney, who just 3 weeks ago raised $30 million for Biden. He came out yesterday and said, the Joe Biden I saw 3 weeks ago at my home was not this is a big effing deal Joe Biden of 2010. This wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. The Joe Biden I saw at my home was the Joe Biden we all saw on TV. I'm like, yeah, really? You're telling us that now? So Clooney and Obama are homies. I think personally that the Obamas are behind orchestrating Joe getting out of the race because they know that he cannot beat Donald Trump. He cannot beat Donald Trump. So they have to get rid of him. If he won't resign and they go to him privately and say, Joe, people are going to start to introduce articles of the 25th Amendment. You can exit gracefully. You can go out and say, it's time for me to pass the torch. I stopped Donald Trump in 2020. We can all stop him in 2024. He can go out a hero in their eyes. That's what they're painting the picture. But they're also grooming people on the inside of that cabinet. Somebody's going to come out crying, and they've got a $5 or $10 million book deal waiting for them. They have a 3-year contract with MSNBC or CNN, and they're going to have a golden parachute because if you go after the king, you better be ready. So they might have 1, 2, 3 people that are ready to step forward, each of them getting their own deal, their own golden parachute, and then Biden is going to say, all right, I'm home.
So, final question for you, Randall. How important is it that we have free and open and equal debates and elections in this country?
I'm a part of that large group of people, maybe yourself included, that thinks that money and money in politics is destroying the country. When you have, it's the Wild West. When you have these super PACs that just come in and spend unthinkable sums of money, how am I, as a third-party candidate, going to ever compete with that? It's impossible. But even beyond that, it's impossible for us to hear through the clutter and the clatter without shows like yours, without the concept of the free and equal debate. The problem is right now we're like a stone. But if you're a stone against Goliath, you might, slaying the stone is what brought down Goliath. So to answer the question directly, these things are of inestimable value. We just have to get the word out. We have to be heard. If we're not heard, then in many ways it doesn't matter. This is a cool event. A lot of people here. But having the echo of this event and the voice of this event go out to tens of millions of people, that's what matters. And then having tens of millions of people who lift up their eyes from their phone long enough to go, what? Huh? What did I miss? What? Let me look. That's what we're up against. We're up against the monolithic, what many people call the duopoly. We're up against that, although I don't agree fully with that. I do think that there's a substantive difference between the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. In fact, please go to terry2024.com. That's our website. Look at my ads, terry2024.com, because my ads are going after Democrats. My ads are going after Biden and Democrats. The Democrat Party as an institution has become a fortress of evil. It is a force of malice and must be destroyed. It is irredeemable. So I don't feel that way about the Republican Party. I think that there are a lot of good people in the Republican Party. I think that there are still some good people in the Democrat Party. But it's time to wake up. This is not your father's Democrat Party. This is a party that wants to abuse children, sexually abuse children, pervert their minds, their thoughts. That's what this party has become. And so my mission is to defend children, defeat the Democrat nominee, and to destroy the Democrat Party. How long that will take, I don't know. But that's where my heart and soul are.
Randall Terry, you're a man of many talents. A lot of people don't know you're also an author, right? You've written some books recently. You're a musician. So maybe tell our listeners real quick on a closing statement, where can they find out more about your books and your music?
Go to Terry 2020. No, wait, that's my political site. RandallTerry.com. My name, RandallTerry.com. And also Dragon Slayer Studios. We own a production company, Dragon Slayer Studios. And we just released a time travel movie. TimeboysTheMovie.com. Look up Time Boys. It is great for kids, PG. It's a lot of fun. All the music you hear is original. And we've got some all-star players, legendary rock and rollers, singing and performing in the documentary. And when you see my family on stage in that movie, me and my sons, that's actually us playing. All of my boys are professional musicians. So I'm very proud of them. Time Boys, that's a fun movie. And then Is It He or Is It She was you. My latest
It reads
book.
like Dr. Seuss, by the way.
I remember my mom reading Dr. Seuss to me, sitting me on her lap. And it had such an impact. I still think in terms of rhyme. I literally, writing that book was such a blast.
Well, it definitely portrays that you had enjoyment in writing it when I read it. And it's a great read for, just to read and check it out. So make sure you guys go out there and check out Randall Terry's stuff and check out his election website, right? Terry 2024.
Yes, sir.
If you guys haven't yet, Randall Terry will be in the debate tomorrow with Jill Stein from the Green Party and Chase Oliver of the Libertarian Party. And we're hoping for maybe some other people such as RFK. And we'll see what we get out there tomorrow. But make sure you guys tune in. Check out the Freedom Fest website to get more information on the debate. I'm Christanti Harris with the Free and Equal News Network here. We're bringing you the latest on this election cycle, and it's great to get other individuals' viewpoints. It's about listening to everyone and then coming to your own conclusion about what you want to do and who you want to vote for. A lot of times they say that voting for a third party is a wasted vote, and I've always said that voting for somebody you don't believe in is a wasted vote. Christanti Harris, I'm out. Randall Terry, make sure you guys check him out. Thank you guys very much.